Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Train Good Buddy, freedomfromgovernment.us. In one of my more popular videos, I have received some comments. What's all this corporate talk? What do you mean, corporation? Well, let me go over a little bit of information with you. The United States, I hate to break it to you, it's not a country. It's a corporation. And in preparation for stealing America, the puppets of Britain's banking cabal had already created a second government, a shadow government, designed to manage what the common herd believed was a democracy, but what really was an incorporated United States. Together, this chimera, this two-headed monster, allowed the common herd all rights of sui juris, you in your sovereignty. Congress, with no authority to do so, created a separate form of government for the District of Columbia, a 10-mile square parcel of land. Why and how did they do so? First, we must be reminded that the Civil War was, in fact, little more than a calculated front with fancy footwork by the backroom players. It was also a strategic maneuver by British and European interests, also known as the international bankers. They're intent on gaining a stranglehold on the coffers of America, and because Congress knew our country was in dire financial straits, certain members of Congress cut a deal with the international bankers. In those days, the Rothschilds of London were dipping their fingers into everybody's pie. There you have the why. Why members of Congress permitted the international bankers to gain further control of America. Then, by passing the Act of 1871, Congress formed a corporation known as the United States, in all capital letters. This corporation, owned by foreign interests, shoved the organic version of the Constitution aside by changing the word for to of in the title. Let me explain. The original Constitution drafted by the Founding Fathers read, "The Constitution for the United States of America." United States was not capitalized, not even the first letter of United or States, just America. But the Constitution of the all-capitalized the United States of America is a corporate constitution, which is absolutely not the same document you think it is. First of all, it ended our rights of sovereignty. So now you have the how the international bankers got their hands on the United States of America. To fully understand how our rights of sovereignty were ended, you must know the full meaning of sovereign, which is chief or highest supreme power, superior in position to all others, independent of and unlimited by others, possessing or entitled to original and dependent authority or jurisdiction. That's from Webster. In short, our government, which was created by and for us as sovereigns, free citizens deemed to have the highest authority in the land, was stolen from us, along with our rights. Keep in mind that, according to the original Constitution, only we, the people, are sovereign. Government is not sovereign. Government doesn't have rights. Government can't give us rights. The Declaration of Independence said, government is subject to the consent of the governed. That's us, the sovereigns. When did you last feel like a sovereign? It doesn't take a rocket scientist or constitutional historian to figure out that the U.S. government has not been subject to the consent of the governed since long before you or I were born. Rather, the governed are subject to the whim and greed of the corporation, which has stretched its tentacles beyond the 10-mile square parcel of land known as the District of Columbia. In fact, it has invaded every state of the Republic. Mind you, the corporation has no jurisdiction beyond the District of Columbia. You just think it does. You see, you are presumed to know the law, which is very weird because since we, the people, are taught nothing about the law in school. We memorize obscure facts and phrases here and there, like the preamble, which says, "We, the people, establish this Constitution for the United States of America," but our teachers only gloss over the Bill of Rights. Our schools, controlled by the corporate government, don't delve into the Constitution at depth. After all, the corporation was established to indoctrinate and dumb down the masses, not to teach anything of value or importance. Certainly no one mentioned that America was sold out to foreign interests, that we were beneficiaries of the debt incurred by Congress, or that we were in debt to the international bankers. Yet for generations, Americans have had the bulk of their earnings confiscated to pay a massive debt that they did not incur. There's an endless stream of things the people aren't told, and now that you are being told, how do you feel about being made the recipient of a debt without your knowledge or consent? After passage of the Act of 1871, Congress set a series of subtle and overt deceptions into motion. Deceptions in the form of decisions that were meant to sell us down the river. Over time, the Republic took it on the chin until it was knocked down and counted out by a technical knockout, TKO. With the surrender of the People's Gold in 1933, the common herd was handed over to illegitimate law. Our corporate form of governance is based on, you guessed it, Roman civil law, and also admiralty or maritime law, which is also known as the divine right of kings and the law of the seas. Another fact of American history not taught in our schools. Actually, Roman civil law was fully established in the colonies before our nation began, and then became managed by the private international law. In other words, the government created for the District of Columbia via the Act of 1871 operates solely under private international law, not common law. Sorry, you guys think the common law is going to save you. You can't even invoke it, really. Anyway, this fact about the private international law has impacted all Americans in concrete ways. For instance, through private international law is technically only applicable within the District of Columbia and not in the other states of the Union. The arms of the corporation of the United States are called departments, i.e. Justice Department, Treasury Department, and those departments affect everyone, no matter where you live. And guess what? Each department belongs to the corporation, to the all-capital United States. Refer to any United States Code, USC, note the capitalization. This is evidence of a corporation, not a republic. For example, in Title 28, 3002, 15 ABC, it is unequivocally stated that the United States is a corporation. Translation, the corporation is not a separate and distinct entity. It is not connected. It is not disconnected from the government. It is the government. Your government. This is extremely important. I refer to it as the corporate empire of the United States, which operates under Roman civil law outside the original Constitution. So how do you like being ruled by a corporation? You say you'll ask your congressperson about this. Ha! Congress is fully aware of this deception. So it's time that you become aware of the deception. What this great deception means is that the members of Congress do not work for us, for you or for me. They work for the corporation, for the all-cap United States. No wonder we can't get them to do anything on our behalf, meet our demands, or answer our questions. Technically, legally, or any other way you want to look at the matter, the corporate government of the United States has no jurisdiction or authority in any state of the Union, which is the Republic, beyond the District of Columbia. Let that tidbit sink in and then ask yourself, could this deception have occurred without full knowledge and complicity of the Congress? Do you think it happened by accident? If you do, you're deceiving yourself. There are no accidents, no coincidences. Face the facts and confront the truth. Remember, you're presumed to know the law. They know you don't know the law, or for that matter, even your history. Why? Because no concerted effort was ever made to teach or otherwise inform you. As a sovereign, you are entitled to full disclosure of all facts. As a slave, you're entitled to nothing other than what the corporation decides to give you. Remember, also, that ignorance of the law is no excuse, so it's your responsibility and obligation to learn the law and know how it applies to you. No wonder the corporation counted the fact that most people are too indifferent, unconcerned, distracted, or lazy to learn what they need to know to survive within the system. We have been conditioned to let the government do our thinking for us. Now's the time to turn that around if we intend to help save our republic and ourselves before it's too late. As an instrument of the international bankers, the United States owns you from birth to death. It also holds ownership of all your assets, all your property, even your children. Think long and hard about this, about all the bills, taxes, fines, licenses you have paid for or purchased. Yes, they had you by the pockets. And if you don't believe it, read the 14th Amendment. See how free you really are. Ignorance of the facts led to your silence. And silence is construed as consent. Not that you agreed to it. Consent to be beneficiaries of a debt that you did not incur. As a sovereign people, we have to be deceived for hundreds of years. Or we have been deceived for hundreds of years. We think we are free, but in truth, we are servants of the corporation. Congress committed treason against the people in 1871. Honest men could have corrected the fraud and treason, but apparently there weren't enough honest men to counteract the lust for money and power. We lost more freedom than you will ever know, thanks to the corporate infiltration of our so-called government. Do you think that any soldier who died in any of our many wars would have fought if he or she had known the truth? Do you think one person would have laid down his or her life for a corporation? How long will we going to remain silent? How long will we perpetrate the myth that we are free? When will we stand together as one sovereign people? When will we take back what has been stolen from us? If the people of America had known to what extent their trust was betrayed, how long would it have taken for a real revolution to occur? What we now need is a revolution in thought. All we need to do is change our thinking. Then we can change the world. Our children deserve their rightful legacy. The liberty our ancestors fought to preserve. The legacy of a sovereign and fully free people. Thanks for your time. I really appreciate you guys listening. Have a great day. And check out freedomfromgovernment.us for lots more information. Peace.